أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه اللهم اجعل أعمالنا خالصة لوجهك ولا تجعل فيها حظا لغيرك وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone today? Alhamdulillah. Before we jump back into our Sarf, one of the brothers just informed me that there's a pipe burst on the corner of Dolomite and Maria Road. So if there's anybody from the area, he says he couldn't get hold of the council or anyone. If there's anybody from the area that maybe knows what to do, we do need to be saving water. So yeah. Okay. That's it. We get back into our Sarf bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. What did we do last week? We learned the first scale. Before learning the first scale, we just learned a couple of things, right? We learned that the verb is made up of two parts. The first part is its three root letters. What are the three root letters we worked with last week? Fa, ayn, and lam. Fa'ala. And that's our template throughout our study of Arabic, right? We use the root letters fa'ala as like our standard template letters. Then we made some changes to the end of that fa'ala, isn't it? We changed what came at the end of it. And that change did what? It changed who was doing the action. It changed who was doing the action. However, from the verb as well, we were informed when the action was done. We haven't changed when the action was done yet. We'll learn that in due time. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So, we just saw those parts of a verb in action. The three root letters, what they contribute, and we'll see that in greater detail today, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And then we saw how some changes to the form of the word could change the meaning of the word. Specifically, what part of the meaning? What part of the meaning did we change last week when we changed the form? Fa'ala, fa'alu. Who's doing the action? Right. We also say that in English, those are all separate parts of the sentence. But in Arabic, it's all built into one word. It's all built into one word. At times it can be separate, but in general it's all built into one word. So we started off learning our skills. We're going to start off by saying, and I want everybody to partake, inshallah. Everybody, say with me. Fa'ala. Fa'ala. Are we going to say it with the English or without the English? With the English. Let's start off with the English, inshallah. So everybody. Fa'ala. He did. Okay, wait, sorry. Let's just get some house rules in. Everybody, uniformity. Fa'ala. He did. Fa'alat. She did. For all of the others, we can say who they are. So, fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they, many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they, many females did. Fa'alta, you did. Fa'altum, no, we have to say you, one male. You, one male did. Fa'altum, you, many males did. Fa'alti, you, one female did. Fa'altunna, you, many females did. Fa'altu, I did. Fa'alna, we did. Right, so everybody together now in uniformity. Usa, Bismillah. Fa'ala, he did. Fa'alu, they, many males did. Fa'alat, she did. Fa'alna, they, many females did. Fa'alta, you, one male did. Fa'altum, you, many males did. Fa'alti, you, one female did. Fa'altunna, you, many females did. Fa'altu, I did. Fa'alna, we did. I can still hear like echoes of silence, man. I don't know if some people are not saying it. Everybody together. It must sound like we're having like Eid-day takbir here or something. Come on, everybody. Fa'ala. Right, that just affirmed to me to a great degree that I was hearing largely my own voice going louder all the time, so I need to hear everybody else say it. What I'm going to do is, let's say the first quarter here, the front half of the females, just you say it. So until like somewhere in the middle here, you guys decide. If you're saying it twice, it doesn't matter. Come, Bismillah. Right, the back half of the females. Right, mashallah, that is good on the lady side. Let's hear the guys. Let's start to the back half of the males. You're far away from me now, so you have to say it loud. And turn down the bass, treble up a little bit because we want to hear some sound in here. We don't want to shake the mosque. Come on, let's hear. Good, mashallah. Front half of the guys. Allahu Akbar. Now we're hearing some sound. Go for it again. Bismillah. Right, beautiful, mashallah. Okay, so that was us learning the first skill. We just parrot fashion learned it. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to throw some words on the board. Right? I'm just going to put a random word on the board. I want you to tell me what that word means. However, don't shout out the answer. I want everybody to have a fair chance at figuring it out. So let's just take 3 seconds. I'm going to put a word on the board, and then I'm going to count till 3, and then you tell me what it is. Fa'alti. 2, 3. What's it? I had 2 answers, she and you. What's it? You one, female. Fa'alti. You one, female did. For you one, female is easy. In Arabic, you one female is what I heard Sheikh Ismail telling you last week. You one female is auntie. So if you hear the T, then you know it's one female. It's the one auntie. No, I'm just joking. Alright. Fa'alti. You one female did. Fa'alat. She, one female did, or she did. Right, okay. Another one. Let's leave it 3 seconds. I want everybody to have a chance to figure it out. Fa'altu. 1, 2, 3. What's it? Fa'altu? Any ikhtilaf? The ulama want to differ? No. Okay, let's stick with it. Fa'altu. I, whether it be male or female, I did. Fa'altum. I told you take you 3 seconds, you would have thought about it. 1, 2, 3, what's it? You, many males did. I see I left out the harf on there, isn't it? I did actually. But you'll know, you should know your sarf so well that even if I leave all of the harakat off there, okay, I can't leave all of them. If I just leave the first one on, or if I put any one of them on, you should be able to tell me what it is. Why? Because in sarf, the word must fit exactly on the scale. So it can't be like fa'altim or fa'altam. It's always going to be fa'altum. Some harakat can change elsewhere, but not over there. So, yes, that's for most of us, that might be the extent of our Arabic. That's why we just went with fa'altum. But just so that you know, in Arabic books besides the Quran and sometimes hadith books, there's no harakat on the letters. If you go into like An-Nur in Gatesville or Savans or wherever they sell Arabic books in Makkah or wherever, you open up an Arabic book, there's no harakat in there. But Arabs and non-Arabs alike, people that know Arabic, they can read that fluently. So inshallah, if you learn your scales well, it will become like second nature. You don't need any of that stuff. Lucky for us, the Quran has it all. But anyways, that's in due time. Let's look at the next one. Fa'altunna. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. What's it? You many females. Fa'alna. Read it, that one's easy. Fa'alna. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. What's it? They many females. Right. Fa'alta. You won? Are you sure? You're not I did. What's that? Fa'altu. Right. Fa'altum. Again, you many? You many males did. We already had this one. Fa'alu. They many males did. Fa'ala. Inna lillahi. Everybody must know that one. He did. Right. Okay. That was us learning our first scale. It's not very much usable like that. We saw some verses of the Quran that had those exact words in them. However, we want to now use that template, that scale that we learned as a template. We want to use that to learn how to say other verbs, not just to do other things. So the first one I chose was to open. To open. It wasn't completely random, but the reason why I chose it is not important. The root letters, before we were using the root letters, what were they now again? The 3 main letters? Fa, a, la. Right. Now the root letters attached to opening is fa, ta, ha. Fa, ta, and ha. So what do? I just replace, wherever there was a fa in the previous scale, I replace it with the fa of fataha. It's the same letter, so you don't actually have to replace it. Then the ayn of the first scale, I replace with a ta. And the lam of the first scale, I replace with a ha. So instead of having fataha, I now have, instead of having fa'ala, I now have fataha. What will the next word be? Fatahu. And the next word? Fatahat. As you go on, you can to the scale. So I want everybody to say that scale for me. Just the Arabic for now. Fataha. Fatahu. Fatahat. Fatahna. Fatahta. Fatahtum. Fatahti. Fatahtunna. Fatahtu. Fatahna. Okay. If you look at this slide over here, all of the harakat, all of the baris, all of the tashkil, they stayed on exactly the same place. Isn't it so? All, and the previous one was na, but just with letters in there, not just hamzas, right? On this slide, all of that stuff stayed exactly the same. There was only one change. What is that change? What changed? the three main letters or the three root letters changed from a fa, ayin and lam to a fa, ta and ha. So what does that do? When I change the root letters, I change the if you remember that slide that we had much earlier, the three what the action is that's done. So what do you think fataha will mean? Fa'ala meant he did. So fataha will mean he opened, past tense. Not he is opening or he will open, past tense. He opened. Fatahu will mean what? They, many males, opened. Fatahat, she opened. Fatahna, they, many females, opened. Fatahta, you opened. Fatahtum, you many males opened. Fatahti, you one female opened. Fatahtunna, you many females opened. Fatahtu, I opened. Fatahna, we opened. Okay, there's two parts to that now. The concept, firstly, the letters changed. All other aspects of the meaning remained the same except the action that was done. So we see now a change, a different change in the form. Last week we saw a change in the form of the word and how that had an effect on the meaning. What did we see last week? We changed the endings of the words and that changed who did the action. This week we saw what? We saw a change in the letters that the word is made up of, the root letters of the word. The change that we have now is the action changed. So I told you Sarf was about learning how changes in the form of a word cause a change in the meaning. Just remember that. Everybody say it for me. Change in the form causes a change in the meaning. Right. So last week's change was changing the endings of the words. That changed who did the action. This week's change is we change the root letters of the verb. And that changes the action that was done. Right. So, okay, everybody say the scale for me quickly. But with the meanings now. Fataha, he opened. Fatahu, they, many males, opened. Fatahat, she opened. Fatahna, they, many females, opened. Fatahta, you, one male, opened. Fatahtum, you, many males, opened. Fatahti, you, one female, opened. Fatahtunna, you, many females, opened. Fatahti, Fatahtu, I opened. Fatahna, we opened. Right. Okay. What I want you to do now is just say to your partner quickly. Each person and say the scale to them. You say to your partner and let your partner say to you. Quickly. Okay. In this side. If anybody has any questions or anything, don't hesitate to ask. Okay, right. Attention, attention. Anybody have any questions before we move on? Speak now or forever. You won't actually have to hold your peace forever. You can just ask it later. Doesn't matter, but. Good question. We are making a clear distinction between masculine verbs and feminine verbs. The question is, what if it's a mixture of males and females? What if it's like there's a group of males and females? Which verb do you use? In Arabic, you use the masculine verb. In Arabic, you use the masculine verb to refer to a group. Even if there's one female and a number of females, you use the masculine verb to refer to that. If you use the feminine verb, then it will refer specifically to, it will refer to the fact that there were only females that did the action. Alright, so that's just how the structure of the Arabic language is. You use the masculine verb to refer to groups of people that comprise of both male and female. Right. Okay, so let's another verb. I'm going to give you the root letters and I want you to tell me what the scale will sound like. So the root letters are Tad. You can write it down quickly somewhere. Tad, Ra, and Ba. Tad, Ra, and Ba. So the first one should sound Daraba. Right, Daraba. Daraba means to hit. And I'm not just making the class a little bit more violent, no. There is a reason why that verb is chosen, which will unravel in future, inshallah. Okay. So everybody take down those letters. So now just think about, to yourself quickly, how the scale will sound. Try and say it to yourself. Try and say it to yourself. And then we'll say it together after that. You can say it to a partner quickly, see if your partner will agree with you. See if you guys agree with each other, how the scale should sound. Okay, let's all say it together now. How would the scale sound before I put it on the board? Daraba, daraba, darabu, darabat, darabna, darabta, darabtum, darabti, darabtunna, darabtu, darabna. Alhamdulillah. Sounds like most people got it. It sounded louder than fa'ala. So it seems like we're getting there. Right, so that's exactly it. If daraba hit, what will be the full meaning of daraba? Daraba, he hit. Darabu, they hit. ضربت, she hit. ضربنا, they many females hit. ضربت, you one male hit. ضربتم, you many males hit. ضربتي, you one female hit. ضربتن, you many females hit. ضربت, I hit. ضربنا, we hit. Right. Another one. Root letters now are na, noon, sad, and ra. Noon, sad, and ra. These root letters, the imagery attached to these root letters is of helping, to help. So, write it down quickly and say it to your partner. Try to say it to each other. How the scale should sound. Okay, let's say it all together. Everybody. Nasara, Nasaru, Nasarat, Nasarna, Nasarta, Nasartum, Nasarti, Nasartunna, Nasartu, Nasarna. Alhamdulillah. You see what's happening here actually? How many words did you actually memorize? You mentioned the 10 words that make up the first scale, isn't it? فعل 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 فعلوا فعلت فعلنا فعلت فعلتم فعلت فعلتن فعلت فعلنا. You memorize those 10 words. And now, to make a whole array of new words, to create another 10 words, all you need to do is just learn the imagery or the meaning that's attached to some root letters. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you'll come across those words very easily when we start with our readers and things like that. Every time, and I'm going to implore you, when we do our readers, every time you come across a new word, you know what we do? We make life easy for you here. So maybe we'll give you like a sheet that has all the vocabulary that you need on. But in future, inshallah, we'll get there. I'm going to ask you to actually use your dictionary and go look up the meaning of the verb. So for example, even if you have a noun, what's a kitab? Kitab is a book. But you can take the root letters. You can take the root letters from that word kitab. That's a noun. And you can form a verb. So what do you think that verb will sound like? Kataba. And kataba has a meaning too. What do you think the meaning of kataba will be? It will mean to write. Well, I don't know, many people might have known, others may have taken a guess, but in the guess may have been spot on as well. My point is, as you knowing the meaning of the verb form is like integral to you having a holistic understanding of words in Arabic. And words in Arabic, they have tons of imagery behind them. Like, I like to think more that a single word in Arabic, as opposed to just having a translation like we do in, like we come across when we perhaps use a translation of Quran, there's a lot of imagery attached to a single word. And you know, you can pick practically any word to see that with. But I just give one example. If I take the word asr, We all know the surah, Wal Asr. What does Asr mean? How do we translate Wal Asr? If you even maybe read it in the translation Quran or something. By time. But there's so much more to that word Asr. Asr actually refers to the act of pressing something, squeezing something. And Allah uses the word in the Quran. We know when you make wine and people press grapes, sometimes they squash with their feet also. So in Surah Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about pressing grapes, or when they make juice even, or you make any type of juice, you squeeze the fruit and you squeeze the juice out of it. So Allah uses the verb ya'sirun in the Quran to mean make juice or make wine. The word asir means juice. So how do you get juice and time? What's going on there? But it's not like a random thing. Those things are all actually attached to each other. What time of the day is Asr? What period or what waqt in the day is Asr? It's a late afternoon. But when does the day start? The day starts at Maghrib. So it's actually the last part of the day. It's actually the last part of the day. So it's like that last drips of time that's running out. And obviously when we come to that Surah Al-Asr, and you'll see the imagery in context, but that's why I like to say that, in Arabic, words don't just have a translation meaning. Asr means time. No, Asr means time, but there's a whole image that comes attached to that translation of times. There's other words for time as well. There's waqt, there's zaman, there's a number of other words that can refer to time. But why use Asr here specifically? Because it creates that sense of urgency. It refers to, you think of that last drips of time that's being squeezed out of the day. And you'll see what that means in context when we actually do the tafsir and the translation of that surah. But I can give you so many other examples. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا وَالْعَادِيَاتِ Adi, okay, most people won't know the translation of this word. But adiyat, in the translation you'll just find by the horses that pant. Or something like that. But when you start learning more about the words, you'll see that adiyat is a feminine word. It's a feminine plural. So now, what gets created in my mind? Adi actually refers to something that attacks. It's referring to a horse in the surah, but it refers to something that attacks. So when I read just that one word, when the 7th century Arab who was immersed in his language, and it was their pride, when they read this verse, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا, it created a whole image in their mind by this female horse, a mare, and the mares were known to be faster than the stallions. So the mares were preferred for battle. It was like, your stallion is maybe like your Nissan or something, and your mare is your Ferrari. Isn't it on there? On your Ferrari logo? Yeah, I'm sure that must have been a mare. So it refers to a female horse, the faster of the types of horses. That horse is running in battle, it's attacking. Dabahan, it's panting. And to hear the horse panting, just those two words together create this whole scene of a horse running in war. You're so close to the horse that you can hear and feel the panting of that horse. That's just two words put together. And so that gives the listener the sense that they are actually themselves in war. And it creates an adrenaline. Now the Arabs, they were like a warring people. So this was like everything that got them. They loved feuding, they loved fighting, they loved horses, they loved fast horses. So, but just these two words, they were like enthralled, they were captured by the Quran. وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبَحًا. Ooh, this horse, this female horse is running in war. I'm so close to this horse that I can hear it. Their minds go into another zone. فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدَحًا. When they hear the next verse, they want to know what's happening, what happens. And they just hear about the hooves that strike the ground and kicks up dust. And then they hear that it's in the early part of the morning. And it all creates a whole lot of imagery in the mind. And we're not getting into the surah here, but what I want to convey to you is that words have images attached to them, not just a translation. We know our ideal is not just to know translations of words. And so right now we're just learning like one meaning for the word Nasara, but it has a whole array of meanings. Fataha, we learn one meaning, to open. Fataha has a whole array of meanings. It means to give victory also. It means to give success also. There's a number of meanings that can get attached to these things. So I'm just going to implore you that when we get there, always try and learn all of the meanings that are attached to a verb. Perhaps you don't have access to that right now, but in a couple of weeks' time we'll do some dictionary work, and you'll have access to a dictionary, and you'll be able to open up to Fataha, and then you'll see they're open, to give victory, and you'll find a whole lot of other meanings. And I'm going to implore you to actually look up those things, just to, while it will give you a kick, it might make you more in love with the Arabic language, and it will show you the depth and precision of the language as well, and it will make us appreciate the Quran so much more when we get there. But for now, we just want to know the scale of Nasara. I don't know how I got into that, but anyways, everybody say it for me. Nasara, Nasaru, Nasarat, Nasarna, Nasarta, Nasartum, Nasarti, Nasartunna, Nasartu, Nasarna. Okay, let's say it once with a meaning now. Nasara, he helped. Nasaru, they many males helped. Nasarat, she helped. Nasarna, they many females helped. Nasarta, you one male helped. Nasartum, you many males helped. Nasarti, you one female helped. Nasartunna, you many females helped. Nasartu, I helped. Nasarna, we helped. Okay, that's basically what our lesson was for the day. What did it comprise of? Just a quick recap. We learned the type of change that can happen to a word. Last week's was, if I change the ending of the word, it changes who does the action. This week we saw that if I just change the 3 root letters, I keep every single other part of the word the same. The only thing that changes is the action that was done. Who did the action, and when the action was done, they both stay the same. Right? As simple as it may sound, that is very, very important to our understanding of the language, how the language works as well. Because in Arabic, nouns and verbs, actually for that matter, they fit on these templates. If you just change the root letters of a template, you can get the same type of word, but with a different meaning. For example, a maktab will be what? Like an office or a library. That's actually a maktaba. And if I look at another word, a maqbara or maktaba is a library or office. Maqbara, do you hear the similarity in the sound of the word, in the template of the word? Maf'ala, maqbara, maktaba. The one refers to a place where you're going to find books. The one refers to a place where you're going to find qubur, etc. And words get formed in that manner. But in this subject, we're specifically focusing on the verbs. So what I want you to do for homework is, if you haven't yet memorized the scale, you now see how important it is to do that. It's going to fashion your understanding of, pretty much the whole Arabic language. Then I want you to write out the first scale, the whole fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna, using these root letters, kataba and malaka. Kataba and malaka. Right, and then you would have received 2 worksheets. Is that not so? The one is, can I just see them, please? The one is very similar to the one you received last week, but on last week's mixed verb sheet, if you want to call it that, there were only different variations of, or different words from the first verb using the root letters fa'ala. Is that not so? This week, we have all of these new root letters incorporated. We have daraba, fataha, nasara, as well as fa'ala. All of those different verbs are mixed here in forms, meaning with the different doers. So what I want you to do is simply translate the word on the left hand side, or well, in the column that's already populated, to the language that is left out. So here there's some going from Arabic to English and some from English to Arabic as well. However, well, I shouldn't have said simply translated. When you translate it the same like last week, what you do is when you get to each word, try and say the scale for that verb until you get to that one, and then you write down the meaning. Yes, even if you know it, just for practice in saying your scales. Right? And then, on the following page in that compilation of sheets that you would have received, it starts with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You have a Quran worksheet 1. What I want you to do there is translate the verses. Not using a translation Quran. You have to know all of these words already. By now you should know all of the. I'm just joking. On the following page, there is a vocabulary sheet with all of the words that come in the verses on the previous page. So what I want you to do is use this page, the vocabulary sheet, to pick out the translations of the words in these verses. I left out the meanings of fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, all of those ones, because those are the ones you should know. But all of the translations are on the following page. So just match the meanings of these words with the words on the previous page, and then what I want you to do is after matching it. So for example, if I have the alam tara, and on the following page it says there, did you not see? On top of that, you just write the did you not see? And then piece all of those words that you write down, piece them together and try and get a nice, coherent translation for each sentence. Right? It's just practice in engaging with the language, and then soon you'll be able to see that, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, you will be able to translate some of the verses of the Quran on your own, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that will just show us that we are getting one step closer to our goal of understanding the Quran. With this I end. وَجَزَاكُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرٌ وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.